Welcome to the bold analysis, ladies and gentlemen. The details of leaked presidential ticket for opposition side are coming out just days after Rigathi officially dropped his bid to vie for 2027 presidential election. And in what a move that is seen as part of Uhuru Kenyatta's masterstroke to make sure that the opposition side is holding firm, it is coming out clearly that Uhuru Kenyatta and Rigathi coming together is the only strategy for Mount Kenya to knock out William Ruto's influence in the Gema region. So in this podcast, we're going to look at that leaked list and interrogate and explain why the opposition bench is racing over time so that they can unveil their ticket before August. Kindly subscribe to our channel. And before that, I want to humbly request you to support and partner with us to support the Shinyalu Granny. I told you that this Shinyalu Granny alikuwa na epilepsy. So kuna siku akipika alianguka kwa moto. Na kuanguka kwa moto no one was around, akachomeka. The wound has been there kwa sababu amechukua muda mrefu sana, hakuweza kutibiwa. So when we came, we found that I sent the girls and my team confirmed na akasema kwamba alikuwa nasikia uchungu. She was in pain. So we took it, of course we responded.
Hey. Hapata ni uchungu.
Anaumia. Toi mkono hii kwanza. Toi mkono.
Inauma na ndani, ama inauma na ndani. Hii mkono before ulikuwa unabeba tu mzuri.
Alikuwa anakaa kama chomeka.
Alikuwa tu sawa lakini sasa hivi huwezi.
To this distress so that tumpeleke hospitali. So today, Monday, I want just to hear, of course, get this. So today on Monday, we took her to Mukumu Hospital. For those who come from Kakamega, I know you know very well Mukumu Hospital. Tulimpeleka and there are several tests that have been done kwa sababu akona elephantiasis kwa mguu. And that's why that mguu imefura. And she also had high pressure. So she's already admitted there because of a condition. Akapelekwa na imebidi kae baki hospitali. So we've admitted her in Mukumu Hospital where she's now undergoing treatment. From tomorrow, some more tests are going to be done because they suggest that there is some organ failure yenye ni kama amesuffer due to those burns and even the elephantiasis yenye kwa mguu. So that is what we've done today, and I want to thank my team for the good work they've done just to take Granny to the hospital. And now from tomorrow, we are supposed to support her get a house. I told you that apart from that condition, Granny hakuwa na nyumba. And this structure you are seeing here ni nyumba yenye alikuwa yake, alikuwa naishi. But it trained. Na hiyo nyumba ikawa kwamba she could not stay there. So imagine at that age, she was forced to go and kulala na mtoto wake, last born wake mtoto, kijana, who is also there. And bad luck, the son also got involved in an accident. And that is the guy you're seeing there in crutches. So she didn't even have a bit of that support system. And that's my team will still hang around her for a better part of this week so that we make sure ameweza kutibiwa na kurudishwa. So from tomorrow we are starting na kesho. Nilishakata miti, as you can see tumekata miti. So tomorrow the fundis are going to be on site. I've not gotten mabati, msumari, and the windows and the doors that are needed. So I think we can do 100 bob challenge. Any amount you have, 100 bob challenge, as we finish the last mile of this project, ili from kesho we make sure tumemjengea, and that is hata hakitoka hospitali, because she will be in the hospital for some time. She has to be there for more than 5 days. That's what the doctors have said. Akitoka hospitali akirudi nyumbani, the house will be there. And thank you very much for responding to this call. Let's do 100 bob challenge. I believe watu nasema kidogo kidogo hujaza kibaba, so that from tomorrow Ashosh anaweza kuwa na nyumba. Despite Rigathi Gachagua, our course cooling down the supporters and saying that they need to be given time to delay naming their flag bearer, strategists are making a U-turn. The opposition bench are now thinking of unveiling the candidate before August, so that they hit the road and launch the presidential campaigns. This was Rigathi Gachagua's statement in way back about the candidate. This move is very important, and I'm one person that I've been saying that the 2027 presidential elections campaigns started immediately Rigathi Gachagua was impeached. And it gathered more momentum. Immediately, William Ruto and Raila Odinga joined hands. Those two moves were all eyeing for 2027. That is what was in it. And this move now is coming, and I've been saying William Ruto is already on campaign trail. Whatever is being packaged as development tours and development rallies are just political platforms curated so that he can interact with the masses. And as I analyzed, the crowds that are gathering around the president, not all of them can be able to interrogate and question what the president is telling them. He can hoodwink the masses. And I agree with those who are saying, what happened in 2022 is the same strategy in 2027, and you cannot despise and say that it can't work.
Mimi na baba tuendelee na kazi bila break. Nyinyi watu wa Kisumu munasema siasa mfululizo ama kazi bila break? Munasema kazi bila break? Munasemaje? Ati munasemaje? Ati munasemaje? Ati munasemaje? Ati mu... Wakisema one term tunawaambia nini? Tunawaambia nini? Tunawaambia nini? Ati Kisumu munawaambiaje? Ati Kisumu munawaambiaje? Wamesikia hawajasikia? Tunaelewana? Mimi nataka niwaulize watu ambao hawana mpango, hawana sera, hawana maono, ati kazi yao ni majina. Oh, sijui Ruto must go. Oh, sijui Kasongo. Oh, sijui one term. Oh, hawa tutawaonyesha kivumbi, watashangaa. Ama mnasemaje Kisumu? Tuko pamoja? These are people who have no vision. They have no plan. They have no agenda.
So I want us to look at this list that has come out from Rigathi's insiders, from the opposition insiders, and just also look at the dynamics emerging within the opposition benches. There was a team of strategists drawn from all the parties, the Rigathi's party, Kalonzo, the Jubilee Party, and the rest, so that they could come up with probable lineup And this is what that team, provisional lineup, that team has gotten out. This story will be out, I think, probably by tomorrow, because it's already in the corridors. That the candidate be Dr. Fred Okengo Matian'gi, the deputy president be George Natembeya. That is what that team is proposing. I don't know what you think, but I really want to let's just read over all of it, then you can also give me your feedback. Who do you think should be, or how do you think it should look? Prime Cabinet Secretary to be Dr. Kalonzo Musyoka. Head of Public Service to be Geoffrey Rigathi Gachagua. He's impeached. I don't know how he's supposed to, but of course, they know why they put his name there. Nairobi Governor to be Honorable Dennis Waweru. Speaker of the National Assembly to be Martha Karua. Senate Speaker Cleophas Malala. Finance CS to be Nderitu Murithi stroke Peter Munya. Interior CS to be Eugene Wamalwa stroke George Natembeya. So you might question, why is George Natembeya falling in the two? And that one is in the event that then he swaps the position and takes, and Kalonzo Musyoka is picked as the deputy president. That if Kalonzo is picked as the deputy president, then George Natembeya to fall back to the interior docket. Now that is just the provisional list. That list is a bit huge. I might not read all of it, but that is largely what has been. Oh, I'm seeing Oparanya. Yes, there is Oparanya. There is Oparanya, also a candidate for Prime Cabinet Secretary. Yes, Prime Cabinet Secretary. That is if Kalonzo is picked as the deputy president, then Oparanya takes Prime Cabinet Secretary, and George Natembeya stroke Eugene Wamalwa goes to Interior. So that is a provisional list. I've seen it. This list has been trending, and you will find it in these social spaces. I want to believe that they have leaked it out, or rather it's part of gauging the public feedback on even as the country speaks about this. Without an intentional strategy, as things stand, it is true the opposition will be oscillating within their regions. And if you are keen, Rigathi Gachagua gets political space within Mount Kenya, and even an attempt for his political events to be disrupted by goons, I think is still unmoved and is been able to get the platform. Kalonzo Musyoka has also been oscillating around Ukambani. And over the weekend, he hosted Rigathi Gachagua in Kitui, and then the next day they were in Machakos. That was on Friday and Saturday. Then on Sunday, Rigathi Gachagua was back in Mount Kenya. So you will agree with me that Rigathi and Kalonzo has been oscillating within their bases. This is because of course, the political network on how they can move. But then with an established candidate who must now pull the national masses around him, they can easily move. I've been making a challenge, and I've just been asking, is someone telling you that one term is a song that cannot, one term chorus cannot sail in Kisumu? It can. If we get in the middle of Mombasa, it will. Anyway, it will. But the president strategically, and his team strategically, has confined Rigathi and Kalonzo within their bases. And that is the basis of course, being used to attack. That is what is being used to attack Rigathi Gachagua, that he cannot become president by just oscillating around one mountain. And I think I heard this from Moses Masika Wetangula.
Si uadui. Siasa haiendeshwi kwa fitina na matusi. And some of our colleagues, we want to advise them for free. You cannot become the president of Kenya by rotating around one mountain. Just rotating around one mountain, unaamuka Murima, lunch Murima, jioni Murima, unaota Murima. Kenya will not work like that. Sisi ambao tunatoka Mlima Elgon tutasema nini? Wale wa milima ya Kisii hapa mtasema nini? Wale wa milima ya Homa hapa Homa Bay watasema nini? Lazima to preach the unity of our country. Kama Mkenya yeyote popote alipo, lazima tumupe nafasi kujivunia kuwa Mkenya, kuliko kujifanya ati sisi ndio superior. There is no superior community in this country, and there are no superior people in this country. Rais wetu William Ruto alikuwa anauza kuku, amepanda kwa sababu Mungu amemwezesha, amekuwa rais wetu. Wananchi, hii nchi yetu lazima tujue ya kwamba ni nchi ya sisi wote. Wale wanasiasa ambao wanaleta siasa ya matusi vile Osora amesema, hawana nafasi katika nchi yetu. Tunataka siasa ya sera. Unataka kufanyia Wakenya nini? Political competition will always be there, but let's not compete through insults. Let's not compete through ethnic balkanization of our country. Let's not compete through unhelpful behavior kama ile tunaona. You can be good without calling others bad.
Even though I'm wondering why Wetangula is making that, because even recently, Kithure Kindiki has also been oscillating around the mountain. The strategy team that is being aided by a Canadian company that was hired by Matian'gi's team to do fundraising, and of course with the technical team, has been working with the Nairobi technical team to streamline and fine-tune this list. Uhuru Kenyatta is believed to be warming up to host Rigathi Gachagua in ICHAWERI for what is reported to be a reconciliation event immediately former CS Matian'gi gets back from the CS. And the event, which is supposed to be reconciliation with the Kenyatta family after the fiery and highly volatile 2022 campaigns, is believed that the State House, it is going to deflate the State House team, the State House strategy of President Ruto to have a divide and rule in Mount Kenya. And of course, I've been saying, and of course, observers have been saying that the moment Uhuru and Rigathi, the moment that photo will go out in public, Uhuru has met Raila, Uhuru has met Ruto. The moment Uhuru Kenyatta will shake hands with Rigathi Gachagua, that will be the last nail in the William Ruto's 20 Mount Kenya vote. That is going to end everything, because what the president has been vouching for is 3 camps: to establish Rigathi Gachagua's DCP party as another sphere of influence, and then he has also given money to Kithure Kindiki to go and get a stake, and that's why he's been given money to host those, whatever they're calling those empowerment meetings. And then the other one is actually the Jubilee Party, and the Jubilee Party, and that is the axis that then Jeremiah Kioni has been moving around. But if you remember over the weekend, if you look at this photo, Jeremiah Kioni had a sit down with Rigathi Gachagua, and is believed is part of the strategy to try to cool down the narratives of those 3 camps. So those 3 camps have been emerging, that there is Uhuru camp, and there is Rigathi camp, and then there is Kindiki camp. So if Uhuru and Rigathi camp comes together, then that is the only Mount Kenya camp. And that automatically will actually push Kithure Kindiki to the periphery. Kindiki, I don't even think, will be able to win a huge chunk of votes looking at how things are turning. But of course, other interesting news is with fortunes dwindling and Mount Kenya wary of Ruto association with Raila Odinga, several Ruto allies would actually warm up for Rigathi Gachagua, including the current Embu Governor Mbarire and Irungu Kang'ata, who are also facing ejection from the UDA. Other notable figures that are talking to leave Ruto axis and can warm up to Uhuru Rigathi axis is Lee Kinyanjui. Lee Kinyanjui is making a grand return to Nakuru politics so that he can get second term as Nakuru governor. Aisha Jumwa believes Ruto Raila team would actually settle on Gideon Murangaro as the governor candidate for Kilifi, and just to try to test her ground and how much she can get, Aisha Jumwa might throw herself in the ring for the governor's seat in the coast and try to position himself with the Rigathi axis, and she's been coming under criticism for quite some time. Mohamed Dijopevu, who is being isolated from the party activities, is also another candidate. Samson Chelugui, eyeing the Baringo Senate seat, and is also decamping to join KANU party, as UDA is lukewarm to give them, or rather to give him, the ticket. That's some Chelugui, former water CS Chelugui, was actually one of the CSS that remained with President Ruto from Uhuru's cabinet. But then, critical aspect is why Uhuru and the team are pushing for unveiling of Matian'gi bid very early. And this is something that I think I've said for people who follow this channel. I've been saying it, that they need to unveil the candidate in time and just hit the ground. What William Ruto did, from 2022, everyone joining UDA, even for Musalia Mudavadi and Kalonzo Musyoka and Wetangula, before joining UDA, they knew very well that the candidate is actually William Ruto. So this one is also important, and for me, this is what it will achieve. Number one, unveiling of Matian'gi in time would deflate Kenya Kwanza's strategy of actually using Rigathi as the hate object. Allow me explain the hate object. In every election, every camp gets a hate object from your opponent. And for quite some time, that is what we normally say, for quite some time, Raila Odinga has been used as the hate element for Mount Kenya. Now, after that impeachment, and of course, William Ruto knew very well that that fallout was going to get very ugly, Kenya Kwanza is now putting Rigathi Gachagua as the man the country should hate, and has now, has now recruited even the Handshake fellows, the broad-based fellows, to attack Rigathi. If you arrive in this country today and you listen to news, just at one, before knowing anything, you might even think, you'll be tempted to believe that William Ruto's opponent is Rigathi Gachagua. And the only one narrative used against Rigathi is that shareholding one, being said that he's a tribal man. And I want to believe that with that is not going to take, and with that, when you unveil Matian'gi, it will be interesting to see if Matian'gi is attacked as being tribal. And interestingly, if the Luo fellows around Raila Odinga will also attack that camp, you know the president has been talking of us versus them, and that is the strategy of messaging. And at this note, let me say, I've seen people pushing for a Luo-Kikuyu rivalry. You know, the enemy is not Luo, the enemy, that is not there. The conversation is about what needs to be done in 2027. And Raila is not on ballot. The guy is not on ballot. This broad-based fellows being recruited, the Junet and Kalomas being recruited to wage a Luo-Kikuyu conflict. I think it's even wrong for the president to say of us versus them, wale wachuki, wale wa nini, wale. You are the symbol of national unity. So when you come out, you are talking about unity, but you still believe there are some people somewhere. Are you talking to non-Kenyans? If you talk about unity, should that unity include even those opposition? So, and that's why I keep on saying that even the president is campaigning. Number two, early, when they unveil Matian'gi early, they will push Ruto-Raila deal. They will crystallize that deal. And if you ask me, I want Ruto and Raila to crystallize that deal because it is very weak. Let Raila say Ruto tosha. And I'm telling you where Ruto is seated. Ruto ataki. Ruto just wants the comfort here. Anaweza enda Nyanza, a campaign, atafute because akona baba. But he will not want that Ruto tosha from Raila because he knows that that is going to face a big backlash. And that's what I want. So these fellows, let them push that way. And if you release it early, I know the president will be tempted to retain Kindiki as the running mate. And that is the start of fallout with the broad-based brothers, who I can tell you will demand the deputy president slot. The other third issue is they need to take advantage of the coming by-elections to test the candidate. After starting on Matian'gi, if they field a candidate in any by-election, let that Matian'gi lead those by-elections, so that you test, how is this candidate? If they get a win, there will be a euphoria. Unless they think Uhuru and Rigathi would firmly insulate Mount Kenya from William Ruto, and with the word go from the start that they are handing over the Kikuyu vote to Matian'gi. And that to me is why I support unveiling the candidate early. Thank you.